Yes, it's all where you put it. And then as soon as it's
This is
ready,
streaming live on YouTube.
well, it's private though.
Oh, okay. I
See
thought you
it?
just wanted it recorded for.
Because what happens if I try to save it to my computer, did it stop or meeting is now streaming? Okay. Yeah, because if I do it, I'm gonna have to shut this, I think. It saves it to the cloud, but then it says, oh, it's formatting, blah, 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 go get it. And you only get so much room to do them, and I forget and I erase over them. But I've learned that if I make them private, they store on our channel, but nobody can see them
Oh,
until
okay.
the year. And I something with them where we tell you where they are. Like if somebody has the loop, the link, they can see it, but otherwise they can't. And you accepted it, right? So you're good.
Yeah, coming into.
Okay. So I wanted to show you something. I'm going to read you some categories and I want you to pick one. So I'm just going to share some pictures with you. I was going through a bunch of pictures and I thought, oh, there's so many pictures that I have that I never show you guys that we could have some fun. And I can show you some pictures. You know those memes, and I tell you this all the time, I know, but this is what people think I do. This is what I really do. This is what my mother thinks. This is what I wish I did. These pictures that nobody ever sees remind me of that. And people don't usually realize that I take thousands of pictures every time I go out, but I don't show all the bad ones to anybody. So eventually I'll put those up there. But I also have other pictures that nobody ever really sees, and I just love them. So I made these categories. There's a couple I don't have too much in, so I'll skip them. But I have a few animal pics. There's a couple of Cappy. Drool pics is one category, is one folder I made. First listen, how we lived, people pics, RAs, and this reminds me of the time.
They're all interesting.
That's what I thought. I thought it would just be something different and fun, especially since the holidays are coming up. We're all pretty brain fried again, the way we were at the end of the
definitely. I'll pick the drool pics.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out what that even entails.
So I'm gonna share. I think I'll share the. Okay, I'm gonna hit share screen and I'm gonna pick the app, not the whole screen. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, tell me when you can see them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that you can still see them, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna make you bigger too. I don't know what's recording on this. It must be the share screen with you. It won't let me make you bigger, but that's okay because I kind of want to see the expression on your face. So when I took these pictures, what happened was these are all in Puerto Rico so far. Well, there might be a few. Now I was going to say Turks and Caicos, but these are all in Puerto Rico. And for the Humboldt Oil Field Intensive, we would have the RAs come out and they would be with me usually either from the very, very end of December or the very beginning of January through, like, I guess, the middle of April-ish. And they, the RAs every year would stay with me. But in between, we would have interns that would come out every week. And depending on the year and where we were living at the time, how much room we had and all kinds of things that were going on, would determine how many people we would have all together. And what we try to do is we rented a 7-passenger van for the season, and we would just fill it. But I always had to drive because we always had different people. And usually the RAs were under 25, so they couldn't drive the rental. So I was always the one driving. And we would get up really, really, really early in the morning, like really early. So at sunup, we would meet Cappy with the boat to go out, and we'd be on the water about 4 hours. And you know what it's like when you're on the water. You get so tired, even if you're at the beach, right? And you don't really get tired till you get off the water. And in addition to that, we were in a small boat and we were doing like acoustic stuff. So we'd be leaning over this small boat, and everybody would get seasick. And we knew that we could, so we would tell everybody, take non-drowsy Dramamine or whatever you do before you go out there. So a lot of us would take that, and it's actually not non-drowsy, it's less drowsy. So the ride home, we would all be exhausted. And the rule was somebody had to sit in the front seat beside me for the only reason to keep talking to me, to keep me awake, because it's usually about an hour drive back to the field house.
Yeah.
But nobody else ever stayed awake. And it was really hard for the two of us. So I started taking pictures of them because they were hilarious. And these are the pictures, and these are only some of them because I've only started to go through the photos. So we may visit more of these. These are the photos that nobody has ever seen before, Annabelle, of everybody falling asleep in the van. So this is me with my cell phone looking over my shoulder, taking pictures of everybody as we're driving home, wishing I could be asleep too. And so this is the first one. They're just different years. I think this is Jackie, and none of these pictures are good. That's what's fun about all the pictures I pulled aside. Like some of them are really bad pictures and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is Sarah Steele. We called her Sarah Alaska because we had Sarah McComb and Sarah Steele at the same time. One was from Canada, one was from Alaska. And we just started calling them Alaska and Canada because everybody would get mixed up on who was who. But to this day, this young woman never did anything but smile. Oh, we had a lot of people that just like raise the sunshine. And I'm still in touch with her. She's definitely one of them, but she always smiled. And I can't hear the song Wagon Wheel. Do you know what song I'm talking about?
I probably would if I heard it.
I won't sing it for you because I used to be able to carry a tune. I don't even know if I can carry a tune anymore. But we were singing it all around the round table one day, and Sarah was leading us through it. She knew every word, and I can't hear that song without. As soon as I hear it, I go, Sarah, because it always makes me think of that. But you can see some people knew I was taking pictures and they did everything they could not to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So the drill pictures, Jo, she was one of the RAs, Jo Eames always said, you're not going to catch me. She was really good at staying awake, but I eventually got her in the van on the way home. And I mean, these two people just met.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't matter. And Carly was such a good sport. She was exhausted, but she didn't fall asleep yet in this photo. But nobody ever pushed anybody off of them. It had to be uncomfortable. See, there she is. Carly's asleep, and there's Sarah on a different day. So I eventually got photos of everybody. And you just never knew how people were going to land in the van.
You have to get like creative when you're trying to get comfortable in a car to sleep.
Yeah.
And I just can never do it. I try to sleep in the car and I can't.
I guarantee you would have fallen asleep because
Maybe, yeah.
It was hard to stay awake. This is Susan Cresswell. She's Jackie's mom. Jackie now has her PhD. She didn't when she was with me. She was just kind of talking to Tom Iliff, which is the professor she studied with to get her PhD. But this is her mom, and she came out to visit. And Susan is a physical therapist and a yoga instructor, and she would lead yoga on the front porch, but she was a cheerleader of the group. She was so much fun to have there. Every time we would see something out on, we'd be standing up on the edge of a cliff, and she'd be go, yeah, let's go. And so this is like so counter to all the energy she usually had. But this is what it's like to really be in a field house. Those great pictures that we do, I'll show you like one of the other really cool pictures on the boat afterwards, but all the great pictures that we take, this is reality. This is what I really do. Drive an hour, get up early before the sun comes up, and then get pictures of me drooling in a van on the way home. But to be fair, at least once every week, we would stop at what's the name of the creamery that has, it's something Stone Creamery that makes their own ice cream, and they have like that.
Cold Stone?
Yeah, Cold Stone Creamery. We would stop there at least once a week on the way home as a treat.
Yeah.
Because it was so hard. And or sometimes we would go through Wendy's and everybody would get the Frosties or whatever, but usually we would go to the creamery. So this is over several weeks. I think over a few years, these pictures were taken. There's a pattern here. Nobody gets by. There's Jo escaping her, getting her picture taken. She's very proud of herself. These are some of the students that came from University of Alaska Southeast to do a different project with us. It was hard to get their picture. They were really on to me. They just kind of dominoed all together and slept. They all knew each other, so I think that helped a little bit, but oh my God, just too funny. So I wanted to show you some of these because I just thought it was really fun. And then I guess I should show like some redeeming pictures of some of the things we do. Let's see, what would be a good one? Maybe maybe a couple of pictures of the first time people heard a whale sing. That'd be kind of fun, huh? I just pulled a few, but here, let me share my screen again so you can see these. I'm gonna have to make this one bigger. So this is the real fun. This is why we get up in the morning, right? This is Celeste. She RA'd with us most of one season. And the first time she ever heard a whale, because they're not allowed, most of the RAs at the beginning, they train with me for a couple of weeks. And then when the interns come, the RAs find the whales the first time with directional hydrophone. And the interns aren't allowed to put on those earphones until my camera's pointing at their face, because they all do the same thing. They all put them on, they put their head down, and then you'll see them go like this. And then you see this huge smile across their face, and you know that they heard their first whale. But this is one of the first times Joanne and Jackie were the only two RAs this year. They came together. It's one of the first times Jo ever heard a whale sing. But you can see the smile isn't just the interns, it's also the RAs. It's just so much fun. So Jackie, is helping everybody listen. It's so much fun the first time you hear a whale. It's hard to describe. You'll get this experience eventually. So Heidi was helping out Bree, and she's working in Hawaii on her PhD now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is Eliza. She's married now, has a little baby, and she's a vet. She was in vet school when she came to us, and she wanted to be a Marine vet. So she came out to get some experience, and she was another one of those people that was always happy. So 2012 on this one. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it would be fun to do something different and upbeat